Hey everyone, Chuck Shembry here. I'm just doing a quick video to show people the possibilities of composting and extending the composting season. As you can see, I'm here in my backyard in the high desert in Carson Valley, Nevada. It's about 18-20 degrees out this morning. It's December 6th, and I built a compost pile using horse manure, wood chips, and old alfalfa hay. I think it was about 10 days ago, and it's been very cold, and most people would think that at this point aren't going to generate enough heat to get the composting properly happening. However, I have found if you have the right moisture, you have enough volume and mass of material, and you layer the material very simply, you'll generate some good compost. At least getting the process going. It may not be as efficient and productive as a active compost pile as, say, summertime, of course. But there's benefits of this time of the year because I don't have to really worry about managing the moisture, and we don't get a lot of rain here, but all the little bit of moisture we have gotten on this pile is generating tremendous heat. I have not watered the pile. I have done that before at this time of the year, but we've gotten very little rain, but it's just enough. So I'm going to show you here what's happening with this pile, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do next with it. You can see some heat coming off of it right there. So what you're looking at here is, I don't know how many yards. Honestly, I'd say about 3, maybe 4 yards of probably 3 yards of horse manure, maybe more. That's a big pile of wood chips from trees I had chipped down on my property, and then I've got a stack of hay in the back there that I always keep on the property. This is on the other side of my property from where all my gardens are, and I'm actually expanding some garden space, but you can see the heat coming off. I've got a probe in here right now. Let's take a look at what it says, and you got to look at that bottom number here. It says 152. If you can see that, the 31.8, that's just the main probe surface temperature, because it says 82 on the surface there, but I've got a probe sticking in, and that's not even all the way deep. So 152, that's some serious heat being generated right there. So what I'm going to do, what I did here is, it looks like there's a lot of wood chips on top, but it's very little bit of wood chips. If I just stick my hand down in here, I'm hitting the manure. You can see the manure here, and obviously this is pretty cold right here because it's just on the side and on the bottom, so this has to be turned. But what I do is, once this breaks down quite a bit more, you can see all this moisture just coming off the top, like wicks to the top. Then what I come over here and I built sort of a lazy man Johnson Sioux. This is a 3x4 area, and I layer it again with the more broken down horse manure mixed with the wood chips and hay, and then I layer it again with some fresh hay material, water it, and then I wrap it with this black landscape fabric so that it blocks out the sun, and that's more important for the summertime. So I'll come back and show what that looks like. So this is kind of the first process here, and garden activities have finished, and it's winter time, it's December, and this is just a really good time to be focused on the compost building. And I just stuck a shovel in here. It's pretty hard to see with the lighting, but you can just see all the steam coming out. You can see some saprophytic fungi starting to populate. And again, this was pretty fresh manure about 10 days ago. It's got a ways to go, but it's piping hot. And the point of all of this is, it's 18 degrees outside here. I often hear people say that you can't compost through the winter, and there's some truth to that. Depends on your climate. However, I just encourage people to get the process going, and if you build these piles now and they're not heating up and actively breaking down. They will as temperatures rise in spring, and then you'll have some good compost to put out into your garden. The other thing I'll do is, ideally this is going to break down enough where I'll begin doing some compost mulching with it in probably late February, early March. So then by the time I go and plant a lot of my outdoor garden, which starts hitting hard in May, get some stuff out there in early April, but it's pretty cold around here and I don't have a lot of time to be extremely motivated with extending the season too far. So usually early April I begin in this climate, May, June hitting it really hard, and then I find that the fall season is one of my favorites, so I do a lot of planting in midsummer, a lot of root crops, and we're still harvesting carrots right now in the garden, some other greens, so kind of look at our seasons a bit different around here. Anyways, that's just some chatting about composting and how easy it is to get it going, and I encourage home gardeners to get some horse manure delivered to your property and get yourself some good compost going. Cheers.